You're listening to Productivity Monsters in the Morning. We are the energy volt your real estate business needs to get you up and out and excited and productive for the day. We go over trending topics and things that really matter in the market of the moment. Here are your hosts, Tiffany Hampton and Brooke Silva.
Good morning, Ashley. How are you?
Great, Tiffany. How are you?
Good. So I'm continuing my traveling journey, 2 days in Vermont, 2 days in Andover, Massachusetts. And for those that don't know you, who is Ashley?
Ashley is the assistant team leader here in Andover, Massachusetts.
What's your favorite part of this job?
My favorite part of this job is not only getting to interact with agents every single day, hearing about their business, but hearing about their personal life as well, and getting to know them as human beings.
Awesome. So I was sharing with you, Brooke and I do this thing. It's called PMintheAM, Productivity Monsters in the Morning. And essentially, we go through just different action items to be successful in whatever we desire to be successful in. And since we're both traveling, we're interviewing with guests. So you and I had a conversation about a passion that you have.
Yes.
What is that passion?
My passion is Disney.
Disney.
Yes.
How many times a year do you go to Disney?
2 to 3 times a year.
All right. And do you have to do any work before the trip?
Yeah, it actually takes me months and months to plan Disney trips, even though I go all the time, even though I am the Disney expert and I know what I'm doing, how to book the flights, how to book the tickets, how to book the resort locations. It doesn't matter. I still have a lot of planning to do because it's a little bit different every time.
Right. So an affirmation around that would be, I am a planner.
For sure. 100%.
Okay.
You have to be.
Right. So how does this relate to business?
I mean, Disney is really kind of like my escape, work hard, play hard. So what that looks like for me is I show up every single day as a leader in this market center. And I just need an escape like every single other agent or every single other leadership member. And I go to Disney, relax, unwind, have fun, explore new things. So it's just important as, your personal life, your relaxing, yeah.
Absolutely. So, all of those agents that say I'm too busy to go on vacation, is that a true fact?
No, nope. That's 100% false. I think that's honestly a limiting belief in their head. Oh, I don't have time. I don't have anyone to watch my business. I don't have anyone to assist me with the business while I'm gone or whatever that may be. I think that is just a limiting belief in their head that they have told themselves as an excuse not to be able to step away from their business. I think that they just need to plan and hold themselves accountable to planning.
Yeah, there's this book called The 5 Regrets of the Dying. Mm-hmm. And I butchered that title. We'll put it in the show notes. But the biggest regret was the time that they did not spend with their family and friends.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, yes, this business is amazing and awesome, and I love living in it. Mm-hmm. And yet, when I was active in real estate, 1 week a quarter, I was out.
Yep.
2022 was a transition year, so I didn't really take those 4 weeks of vacation. But 2023, yeah. So just like you, 2023 in April, we're going to go back. We go to Myrtle Beach every April. And then in November, we go to Disney. So maybe we'll go to Disney together. Yeah. And then in the summer, I take 3 or 4 day weekends, right?
Yeah.
And then December naturally slows down and it's family time. So that's the first thing in my calendar. Like Cassie, our regional operating manager, she's like, okay, time to discuss vacations for 2023. Mm-hmm. I was probably the first one to send them because I know when my vacations are going to be.
Well, I mean, Keller talks about that all the time. He even talks about it in the MREA. He plans his entire year in advance. So he takes out his calendar, at the end of the previous year, and he looks out and he says, all right, this is family time. This is friends time. This is when I'm traveling. And it's non-negotiable in his world. His time is his time. And I think that's really important for agents to understand, because when agents are doing the day-to-day activities, when they're doing the grind, they forget that they are a small business owner and burnout is real. So I think it's just as important to focus on, that personal time for you.
100%. So it's funny that this is the conversation that you and I are having, because this morning before we got to the office, one of the things that I did was literally go into my calendar and mark off all the 2023 days off. So like all the holidays that we do not work. And then I went in and I put my holidays, and then I put when the kids' school vacations are through August. And then I put family reunion. And the really cool thing is KW puts out all of their classes and all of their events for 2023 now, so we can plan for them. So I have all of my items, and then I have my traveling days that I know now. So it's amazing when you do that work, how many work days you really have, because it's less than you think.
Oh, 100%. And it's really what it comes down to is, even if you're taking 1 week of vacation for the year, how are you showing up as a person, as a mom, as a father, as a cousin, brother, whatever you want to call it, as a friend? How are you showing up? Are you showing up in that way at the top level that you are showing up in your business every day?
Absolutely. I was on a coaching mastermind call a couple of weeks ago. And I may have mentioned this in a previous session, but one thing that one of the coaches said is, wherever your feet are, that's where your head should be. Yeah. So if your feet are at home, that's where your head should be. If your feet are at work, that's where your head should be. How much more would you get done if you knew that in 2023, you really only had 210 working days? And your goal is to do 75 transactions. Those 210 working days, they better be planned out.
For sure. I mean, it's really all about planning ahead, getting your schedule in check, and, figuring out that perfect balance for you, because, time flies and time goes by so fast, and time is very, very precious. And it's one of those things that you don't get it back. No.
And tomorrow's not ever promised, right? I mean, it's terrible to say, but tomorrow's never promised. So if you're spending all of this time, and I told a story when we were in Vermont on Tuesday about my mom died when she was 42 and I was in my early 20s. And because of the disease she had, it was hereditary. So I didn't know if I was going to live past 42. Because I also had that same disease, right? So I didn't really when I hit 42, I was like, wow, so now I have to plan the rest of my life, right? And that's a horrible way of looking at things, because I probably spent too much time living in the day and enjoying life. And now I'm working on bettering my health and bettering my business world, because I lived past 42, Yeah. And some people, it's the opposite. They don't make it to 42 and they work too hard.
Yeah. I think that also, have you ever thought about it as almost, in a weird way, a gift for you? Because a lot of people are living in the future. They're not living in the now. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And I say it all the time. I really enjoyed my 20s and my 30s. I worked hard. I worked hard because I was a single mom. I had no choice. I had to make the money to have the life. But I didn't plan for the future. So now, because I didn't plan for the future, I'm planning for the future now. However, I have no regrets, because the cool thing about life, and Gary says this all the time, you can be anywhere you desire to be in 5 years. So you just have to plan for it and build the systems and the processes. And that's a gift, because how many people, even agents with other companies and people that have other businesses, do they really realize that you can be anywhere you desire to be in 5 years?
No, and I don't think they do realize that. And I mean, one thing that we take for granted here at KW, we have so many resources, as leaders, as agents, as associates of Keller Williams. We have so many resources that, help you prepare for the future, help you live in the now. And people just don't realize it.
Yeah. So our affirmation is, I am a planner.
Yep.
I'm going to plan for the fun and my passions just as much as I'm going to plan for my business. And I'm going to time block today. I'm going to time block the time that I'm going to take off. I'm going to time block those miracle moments with my family. I'm going to time block my events. And then I'm going to look and see how many days do I have to work to reach my goals. All right.
You just froze.
You're back. So any other advice you want to give?
My biggest advice is really just think about what you want. There's nothing worse than regret, fast forwarding 10 years into the future and just what have I been doing for the past 10 years? My friends, I've lost touch with them. My kids are grown and my head has been completely down in my business. And I wish I had taken care of myself and others around me and I had taken time off. So, just really try to work hard on finding that healthy balance.
Absolutely. All right, my friend. Thank you for taking some time this morning, and I will see you later in the office.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Bye.